My presentation is on sea level rise in Tuvalu. This is the island of Tuvalu. It's very, very small, as you can clearly see. It's only about 500,000 square miles long, and as you can see on the picture on the right, it's very thin. Not really much land there at all. Since 1950, the sea level around the island has been rising, and since then it's rose about 5.1 millimeters. Doesn't sound like much, but over time, if it keeps continuing, there won't be any island left. You can see on the picture on the right by the coast, looks like there used to be just a little bit more of a beach there. It's now completely underwater. One of the main causes of the sea level rising in Tuvalu and in the world is global warming. Um, the Icelands around the world are starting to melt, as you can clearly see by these pictures. The one on the right is from 1979, 2007. All of that white was glaciers that have now melted, and when that happens, all of that water melts into the ocean, and it has to go somewhere, so it just kind of doesn't really spread out as well as you think it would, but all of it goes back into the ocean and causes all the water levels to rise. As you can clearly see on the right, a lot of it has melted in the past. Well, that's just almost 30 years. The picture in front from 2006, 2009, that's just 3 years. All of that ice is gone, and it's melted back and the water's gone back into the ocean, which has made it, the water levels are going to rise because there's just more going into it. Another of the big reasons why is the Enos cycle, which is there are two parts to the cycle, and one of them is called the El Nino cycle. One of them is called El Nino, and the other one is called La Nina, where at certain times of the year and sometimes it's even more than a year long, that the water will warm up or it will cool off. And when water warms up, it expands. And where Tuvalu is on the planet, it is in the Pacific Western region. And when El Nino happens there, it warms up pretty fast, and sometimes it stays pretty warm, sometimes even for a couple of years. So with the ice caps melting and putting more water into the ocean, and the fact that when the water warms up, it expands, the island is slowly but surely going to be taken over by water. This graph over here shows different water levels in Tuvalu depending on the year. And as you can see over time, it's been getting higher and higher. That little dip in 1982 to 83 is because the water started to cool off at that time, so the sea level wasn't as high. But slowly but surely, after enough time passes and enough ice melts, the island will be taken over and the sea level will continue to rise. There's really no way to stop it. And that's it.